October 29, 2025, at approximately 2:15 p.m., the victim entered the Miami Gardens Police Department accompanied by her attorney to report an incident that occurred on October 27, 2025. At the time of the incident, the victim was employed at a local gentleman's club located within the city of Miami Gardens. According to the victim's statement, at approximately 4:15 a.m. while working, she was approached by Mr. Davis. The victim was approached by Mr. Davis. The victim reported that Mr. Davis grabbed her by her back of her head.
Man, I don't know what this young man is trying to do to his career, but he has no control over his emotions, and it's about to be just all over for him, man. He's going to, if this is true, these allegations that they putting out on him, he going to jail, bro. He can cancel Christmas, right? Gervonta Davis wanted by Miami police over domestic violence incident, right? Man, Gervonta Tank Davis is a wanted man. Officials with the Miami Gardens Police Department announced they are searching for the boxer in connection with an alleged domestic violence incident that occurred in October 2025, man. A press conference was held on Wednesday afternoon with police saying they are working with U.S. Marshals to bring the undefeated boxer in on 3 charges: battery, false imprisonment, and attempted kidnapping, right? Cops say the incident occurred at a gentleman's club in the city. The woman who cops did not identify reported the altercation 2 days later on October 29th. So she ain't go for no money. She went straight to the police. Now, we often say a lot of times it's a money grab because how come they didn't go for the money? Well, no, she went straight to Jake, right? The woman who worked at the establishment alleged Gervonta approached her, grabbed her by the back of her head, pulled her by the hair, and with one hand, and by the throat with the other. She claimed he then forcibly escorted her down a stairway into the parking garage, all while he maintained a grip on the back of her head. Once they reached the parking area, the woman claimed Davis released her and she ran towards her co-workers for safety. Officials stated the lead detectives obtained and reviewed video footage that corroborates key elements of the victim's statement. Damn. Man, he fried, bro. Fast forward to Wednesday when authorities obtained an arrest warrant for the 3-time division champion. It's not the first time we're hearing about this. On Halloween, Davis was sued by the woman in connection with the same altercation. In court documents, she said the two had an intimate relationship over the last 5 months, but it was far from smooth. Man. She told police things ended about a month before the October assault. She also blocked all forms of communication with the 31-year-old. Davis was set to box Jake Paul in November 2025 in a highly anticipated bout, but after these allegations came to light, Paul and Most Valuable Promotion scrapped the fight. Tank has not commented about these accusations. Man, listen, man. This stuff is serious and there's nothing to play with. You know, a lot of these young guys, and he's not even young no more. He's in his 30s now. But a lot of young men, you know, early, on my old channels when I used to talk about a lot of this stuff, I was very transparent. I would talk about things in my early teenage years and 20s. I had a problem with my hands, right? Not with every girl I dealt with, but I did. And I went and I sought the help and went and got the help that I need. And I was sitting, these classes with other young men. And, you know, a lot of these young men don't have self-control. They don't have impulse control, right? They're very emotional and they're dealing with issues, unresolved issues. And when you have unresolved issues, it comes out in many different ways, right? And you know, a lot of these young guys they need help, man. So I'm transparent about it. I don't run from it because I know that there's a lot of young men out here that's like him and younger than him that don't have no control of their emotions, and they need other grown men and men that come from this to teach them how to overcome this kind of stuff, man. Right? This is crazy. This is crazy. I mean, you know, I'm 50. I haven't touched a woman in 30, maybe 28 years, but I remember them days. I don't have to run from it. I don't have to hide from it. I'm a grown man, right? And we go into these prisons and we go into these places and we talk to these young people, man. We try to talk to these young men. We get them psychological evaluations. We see what are some of the things that's triggering this this trauma or this behavior to make them respond this way. We have these type of conversations. But I want you guys to see what the news is saying. Check this out.
October 29, 2025, at approximately 2:15 p.m., the victim entered the Miami Gardens Police Department, accompanied by her attorney, to report an incident that occurred on October 27, 2025. At the time of the incident, the victim was employed at a local gentleman's club located within the city of Miami Gardens. According to the victim's statement, at approximately 4:15 a.m. while working, she was approached by Mr. Davis. The victim was approached by Mr. Davis. The victim reported that Mr. Davis grabbed her by her back of her head, pulling her by her hair with one hand and by her throat with the other. He forcefully escorted her down a stairway and toward the parking garage while maintaining his grip on the back of her head. Upon reaching the parking garage, the victim reported that Mr. Davis released her, at which point she was able to run towards her co-workers for safety. The victim reported sustaining minor injuries, including visible bruising to her left arm at the time the report was made, and she sought medical attention. The victim further reported that she has known Mr. Davis since 2022, and they were previously involved in an intimate relationship for approximately 5 months, which ended about a month prior to the incident. She stated she had blocked all forms of communication with Mr. Davis after the relationship ended. During the course of the investigation, lead detective Gary Florencio obtained and reviewed video surveillance footage that corroborates key elements of the victim's statement. As a result of the diligent and hard work of our Special Victims Unit, an arrest warrant has been issued for Gervonta Bryant Davis on the following charges: battery, false imprisonment, and attempted kidnapping. The investigation determined that Mr. Davis used force to restrain and attempt to remove the victim from the location against her will. The victim was only able to escape when Mr. Davis released his hold to retrieve his vehicle. At this time, the Miami Gardens Police Department is actively working with the United States Marshals Fugitive Task Force to locate and apprehend Mr. Davis.
Miami Gardens Police and U.S. Marshals, they are both searching for professional boxer Gervonta Davis. Today, police announced a warrant is out for his arrest stemming from an alleged domestic violence incident that apparently happened last year.
We want to take you now to Miami Gardens with Kim Nguyen with more.
Miami Gardens police announced a warrant for the arrest of professional boxer Gervonta Davis. He's now facing 3 serious charges that police say stem from a domestic violence incident in October:
battery, false imprisonment, and attempted kidnapping.
Police say on October 27th, a woman claimed Davis grabbed her by her hair and throat while she was at work at a gentleman's club in Miami Gardens.
Pulling her by her hair with one hand and by her throat with the other. He forcefully escorted her down a stairway and toward the parking garage while maintaining his grip on the back of her head.
At some point, the woman told officers that Davis released her and she was able to escape.
She was able to run towards her co-workers for safety.
The alleged victim reported the incident to police 2 days later with visible bruises on her arm. The woman stated that she had been in an intimate relationship with Davis for 5 months, which ended about 1 month before the incident.
Stated she had blocked all forms of communication with Mr. Davis after the relationship ended.
Davis was arrested in July for a separate domestic violence case involving the mother of his children. In 2022, he was arrested in Fort.
This is video of him not speaking to cameras when he was released from TGK. The charges were dropped. In 2023, he charged with battery, accused of slapping a woman. Florida prosecutors dropped that charge after the victim said she did not wish to proceed. In 2020, he turned himself in after this video that appears to show him grabbing the mother of his child out of her seat at a charity boxing game. The Baltimore Banner reports that Davis told Inside Boxing Live that he had plans to hang up his gloves at the end of last year because he has 2 daughters that he wanted to be softer and more humble for. We have reached out to his attorney.
And see, these are conversations that need to be had, you know, in the Men of Integrity circle that we have, where we have open platforms where men can come and be vulnerable. Young men can come and express their feelings and their emotions without judgment, without looking like you soft or you a simp. We need places where guys can get that notice, that steam off, man. Because sometimes some of these young men out here are like ticking time bombs waiting to explode, man. And there's a lot of pressure on them. And what happens is, when I was young, when adversity came up, I didn't have the intellectual capacity or the maturity enough to handle my emotions. You know, my emotions got the best of me a lot of times. You know, I had a lot of issues stemming from my mom, you know, a lot of things, you know, with my parents and all kinds of stuff when I was a child. And I didn't even know that I had issues, those type of issues, until I went to therapy. And when I went to therapy and when I was in prison, they gave me a psych evaluation. And I found out, you know, I had systemic issues from not having my mother in my life. And when I was young, I looked at women, what's the term I want to use? As just something that was just necessary. Because the first woman in my life I was hurt by. She didn't hurt me directly, but she wasn't in my life in the manner in which I thought she should be. And that translated into me, whenever I would have issues with women, I looked at women like, man, if my own mother couldn't love me, and Matt, well, who are you? So, and I mistreated women in my younger years, right? But as I began to grow and I went to therapy and I found out what my triggers was reconcile issues with my mom and with all kinds of things. And I'm saying all that to say, and I'm transparent with this because there's a lot of young men out here right now, or people that's watching me now, you're still suffering from these same issues right now that's never been dealt with. Yeah, you watching me now, I'm talking to you right out there. There's no need to run. You gotta run to the problems and deal with these things head on, because it's going to bleed out into your life, your everyday life. It's going to affect your relationships with your children, your women. It's going to affect the way, all the things that you manifest and bring out. That's going to come out as well if you never resolve the issues, man. So you got him at 31 years old. Yeah, he's a world-class talent. He looks good in what he does, but he has some issues, man. And it's not just this one time, it's multiple women, time and time and time again. That lets me know that he has some unresolved issues that really needs to be dealt with. He has some unresolved issues, man. Right? And a lot of times people are just taking advantage of him because he's a cash cow for so many people, but they don't care about this young man enough to get him the help that he needs. Because they want that anger that's inside of him. Whatever that is that's bubbling up inside of him to make him crash and fight the way that he is, they don't want to disrupt that. But what we're looking at now is that's something that could actually take his life. And they don't care nothing about his life. All they care about is making money off of him. Right? Because he's definitely walking with some type of rage that needs to be dealt with. And we gotta get to a place. You know, I'm in the business of trying to help young men, man, get on the right path, man. So when I see this, it breaks my heart because, like I said, I understand. I understand. And you know, like I said, man, I hope that whatever happens with this, he gets the help that he needs, man, outside of boxing, man, where he can where he can really become the best version of himself and become a good man, right? He was born with an exceptional talent. But that's not the totality of what it is to be a man. An actual man of good character and all those different things, man. And these are things that he's going to have to work hard work hard on. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comments section. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.